Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dave Dubnick, and with me I have Matt Chavez, and we're here at Queenstown Arena to bring you the semifinal battle between the SkyCity Stampede and the Canterbury Red Devils. Matt, oh man, what a season.
It's been a topsy-turvy season with all sorts of surprises, and I don't expect that it's going to change any. It is loud in this building.
Yeah, the fans are nuts already. We've got 2 games this weekend, and already the fans are crazy.
That's right. So, and we get some light in here. There we go. So, we'll be bringing you this afternoon's action here in Queenstown. We're going to start, though, with highlights from the game that was last weekend, last Sunday, which set this all in motion.
Big battle.
It was a big one. The Red Devils went down at West Auckland, and that set up this barn burner here in Queenstown. So we'll turn over the highlights and we'll catch up with you in just a few minutes to bring you action here from Queenstown, New Zealand, the NZIHL on YouTube.
This evening, so the Red Devils down plenty of men going into this one.
And we are underway here. Puck has been dropped. Admirals have a bit of back and forth giving the puck up. Fontaine here, 1-on-0, takes a shot. Saved away, but another shot tipped in by Eden. Nice save there by Chaba.
It's this top line of the Devils that we expect to be venomous for them, and they get some good looks there.
Ellis puts it in the middle of Vesper. Vesper's hard shot, blockered away. Just cruises through the neutral ice area. Hard shot, deflection. Fools Reason a little bit.
Yeah, that didn't miss by much, Ian.
Nice wraparound attempt too by Daigle. But we carry on. Eden, 1-on-1 here against McLeish with Regan coming back and making a nice hit. Forced back with an active Orr. He's very quick. Chases, gives a bit of a stick check. Daigle skates away. Another shin pad block there. Daigle gets a side shot. Corner. Last minute of play in the first period. The referee had his hand up for a moment as Daigle gets taken down.
Oh, that's a huge hit on Anton like Perver.
Perver got absolutely leveled right in front of the ref with no call. The referee electing to keep the hands down, but that was a bit of a dangerous collision there. We'll have a bit of a reset. Referee didn't like the alignment, so Admirals win the faceoff. Daigle back up to the point man. Shot there. Off of a man, that's Bull. He goes for a change. Puts Eden on the ice. Eden has it. Over to Tappan. Tipped in front. Shot. Goal! Dallymore after a rebound goal. A rebound shot, I should say. Canterbury cashing in on the power play.
Red Devils getting the icebreaker there. The big tap-in shot from the point. Deflected off the pad, and I think it was Dallymore.
So Eden passes it over to Tappan.
Yes.
Right off. Yeah, Dallymore gets the rebound as Chaba gave up a juicy rebound.
Him in the first place.
Exactly. The player I was referring to earlier was Janos Kazala. Janos, shout out to you if you're watching. Harrop shoots and scores! Oh, that puck took a deflection just over the pad of Reason under the blocker. And Admirals have tied this game up 1-1, igniting the home fans here at the Brig.
I just spoke of Harrop just before, and what a shot that is. That's exactly where you want to put it.
For sure, breaking the shutout streak that Reason had been going, so he's faced 32 total shots before giving up a goal. Henderson right back on the attack. Shot, wrist shot, gloved down by Reason.
Just under 33 minutes, so certainly had his work cut out for him, but been up to the challenge for the most part here tonight.
For Admirals, Hayward Jones over the line, has a shot and scores! Admirals strike quick and early in succession here. Hayward Jones with a nice snap wrist shot. Goes opposite side with Dale Harrop's goal on that glove. As Admirals regain possession of the puck, Henderson from the neutral zone gives it to Hayward Jones. He just comes in 1 against 2 and takes a snapshot. Play is back. It's 5-on-5. The score is 2 to the Admirals, 1 to the Red Devils. Chris Eden into the middle. That's Fontaine. Nice wrist shot there. Testing the glove of Chaba. Seconds left in the second period. Admirals have the puck here. Chalice goes to Harrop. Harrop backhand to the net. Not clean. Kennedy leaves it for the other Kennedy. Taylor He takes a shot, and Reason, he's not, like we talked about this yesterday, not as technical. So he's got a little bit of an unorthodox style, but he's down in kind of a butterfly position and makes this save. Does manage to squeeze and hold on to that puck.
I feel like there's perhaps been a little bit more traffic than that down at that end, but 12 is what the shot clock says. Who am I to question that?
He does get it back in the middle to Orr. Snapshot. He misses the net. Admirals will say thank you and carry on with their attack. Vesper to Henderson. Henderson shot, spin. Ellis spins and shoots, and he scores! Looked like Reason had it, but it surprised him. Possibly going 5-hole, and that was his 50th shot that he has faced. Sorry, 52nd shot he's faced, and he stopped 49 of them, now taking the Admirals up to a 2-goal lead. Just not a recipe, but he seems to be a goalie that handles high volume. What a shot there by Dallymore. Winds up. That goes off the side of the net. Not out of danger yet. Dallymore gets again, shoots, and Chaba calmly gloves that down. McLeish passed up, and Henry is absolutely filled in by Brown. Vesper right in behind the Canterbury goal. Up to Ellis. Ellis pass to Henderson. Tries to one-time it, but that's interrupted. Canterbury back. Last minute of play in this game. Perver has a backhand shot. That is saved by Chaba.
Admirals fans here getting noisy for a good reason, Ian. Their team's about to do something that hasn't been done in a few years.
Well, Dallymore might have something to say about it as he comes up, stops up, gives it to Eden. Eden, wrist shot, blocked by Daigle. Sacrifice of the body, shot from behind the net, or shoots and scores! This is not over yet, folks. 10.3 seconds as they cash in on an Eden bank play off the side of the net, or in the spot. Shoots it right in, top shelf. Bit of a knuckler, as we see here. Block shot by Daigle. Eden on the red line, goes off the post, and Orr, with Daigle there, manages to put it under the crossbar and score. Surely they would call a timeout here or pull the goalie and go 6-on-5. But no indication has been made, so they are just lining up, ready for the faceoff with Chris Eden going all the way on the far side. And they drop the puck. Admirals back on their heels. Regan with it, skating with it, gets harassed. Decides to just hold it up against that sideboards. They dig and battle for it, but it looks like that is going to do it. The buzzer goes. Admirals win the game 3-2, sitting on top of the NZIHL standings for 2022.
As you can tell from those highlights, what a battle. And that set up the house of cards. I think the most the people that watched this game the most was the Stampede last weekend. They wanted a different outcome, and it didn't happen. So tonight they've got to put it all together. Canterbury has to step up. Last game, last 2 games here in the barn. What a battle that was.
Yeah, and that was the run that the Admirals went on. Pretty amazing, because it ended up making this weekend happen, which nobody was really expecting, to be honest about it. And yet here we are. The Devils would have wanted to not have this happen as well, but it didn't work out that way. The Admirals get 4 on the trot, and here we are, semifinals for the Burgle Cup. So here we go. Yeah,
the boys are just talking to each other there at the net, in net for the SkyCity Stampede. Aston Brooks.
That's right, and for us, we're going to have Daniel Reason. So Daniel Reason was not in goal when we won here on the Sunday the last time we were here. So this will be an interesting change, and I think you've got some very interesting lineup information yourself, Dave.
Yes, the secret weapons. We've got a couple changes in the Stampedes. Matt Schneider back tonight, and that's a big addition. And Colin McIntosh stepping back. So all of a sudden, the boys are back in town, Matt, and that may make the difference.
You know, you already had 5-star players between Amston, Harrison, Burns, Lachlan Freer, and McCarg for putting up 10 points at least already this season, and to bring back 2 more weapons.
Yeah,
it's a frightening situation for the Red Devils. Obviously, that was not the case when they were here last time, but in speaking with one of the managers today, he made sure to point out that if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. So they're taking it in stride and ready to go for this one.
Absolutely. I think Colin Burns is out. I did see him with a cast on his wrist, and asking him whether or not he's going to be playing. He reckoned it wasn't something he could work with, although the injury is, I think, a fractured hand or thumb, and sometimes you can squeak away with that in a glove, but that's not possible tonight.
All right, so here we go with first period action in the semifinals for the Burgle Cup. The SkyCity Stampede and the Canterbury Red Devils here in Queenstown.
All right, puck drop, neutral zone. Devils firing it in behind Brooks. And Mitchell Freer firing it up over the blue line. Ends up on McCog, Max McCog. Just on the blue line, fires it in. And it's dumped back on Freer's stick, who's bumped in boards by Eden. Railing around. Canterbury muscles it out of their own zone. And icing is the call. Eden couldn't quite touch it.
Yeah, Eden in his normal spot right up there on the neutral side of the point, left side, looking for a long pass to come in and get the first shot off. Just couldn't do it, and that's going to go for an icing and pushing them all the way back.
That Eden not even having to receive that pass. He just needs to tap it so that it nullifies the icing. But it was icing. Schneider facing off, and they're facing off to the left of Daniels.
Reason takes that one in right into the pads. That's gonna take a lot of the nerves off. First shot in.
Yeah.
And Reason with the glove.
Little change for the Devils. Face off to the right of Reason.
Now remember, Dave, one of the big change points here is that if you have Schneider on the ice, the Red Devils were doing a great job with faceoffs, and they have all year. This changes the dynamic of that. If Schneider can start winning faceoffs, that's going to be a big help for the Stampede.
Just like you said, Strayer centers to Schneider, who's just a little high. Coyle shot from the point between Schneider's legs.
I saw that.
And 2 things there. One, that was a great screen, but man, the back of your legs is very unprotected. Schneider wouldn't want to collect something this early in the game.
Well, that only works because Schneider is as tall as he is.
Yeah, 2 big pine trees there that Coyle had to fire through. Face off to the left of Reason. Puck back and just kept in by Tom Coyle, and it railed around behind the net. Along the boards in the corner, Schneider laying a bit of a hit. Fan pleaser. and
very physical
Tappan,
start to the
yes,
game.
Tappan marches it just over the blue line, but now Schneider has it in his own zone. Taps it up over the red line. Controlling in their own zone is the Devils. Fontaine, cross ice to Delamore, who can't pick it up. Big lead pass to Strayer, who couldn't, or Sofer, who couldn't get a handle on it. Right in the high slot. Bert Haynes on the red line, across to Freer. Freer saucers it up. Sofer, who rolls off onto the bench for a line change. Hurley can't control it. Tap to the red line. Haynes over the blue line, fires it in. Freer on the red line, being muscled off the puck by Lowe. And Canterbury looking for a line change.
Yeah, Mitchell Freer flipping that one up and ends up in the ironwork here at the arena. But first couple of shifts here for the Red Devils and some nerves on display. The second line really not knowing what to do at the moment, and the third line having some passing problems. So fortunately for the Devils, back out to the first line or with a shot.
Freer with it in the corner. Losing it as Eden picks it up. Bad guy to leave it to. And Eden takes a shot just wide.
And that's deflected up into the netting there for a face-off.
It was a bit of a bouncy puck that Eden had a crack at, but you just, if you're going to leave a puck for somebody, Eden's not the guy deep in your own zone.
No, he's 9 goals, 18 assists. Bad idea.
Yeah, rule number 14, don't leave it for Eden.
Yeah. All-time leading scorer of the NZIHL.
McCaw facing off against Orr on the offside circle. And Reason forced to cover up. There was a little bit of miscommunication. I'm not sure.
Nichols and Brown were split up, and you just had, I think, Harrison just skate by to make sure, and smart play by Reason.
Yeah. Safe than sorry. Face off to the right of Reason. Puck rolls behind the net. Big lead pass over the red line, firing it in. Giving chase. Harrison ends up with it, gives it up to Orr, who takes a shot. Deflected wide. Shot from the Brown on the point. And it's back to Brown on the point. One times it. And Brooks forced to cover up. First test of Brooks, I believe.
Yeah, for any kind of tough shot there. And yeah, Orr getting one, and Apps getting right in there to shut that down and get a face-off. That first line for the Red Devils will be the key today, because while they're out there, they're very competitive.
Yeah, that was a big mistake, leaving it for Orr. Another sort of bouncy puck that bounced over a stick and ended up on a Red Devils puck, Red Devils stick. No icing.
Deflected by Lowe there.
So, and it's cleared up and out. Freer forced into his own zone. Lead pass to Schneider, taps it up to Sofer. Sofer loses it. And it's chipped up to the red line. Colin McIntosh defending for SkyCity, taps it up to Sofer. Sofer moves over the blue line, feeds Strayer, who can't feed it in, and McIntosh following up. Couldn't get a piece of it, and it's cleared up and out. Icing waved off, so it's a bit of a race down there. Freer with it, clears it over the blue line. Reeves with it along the boards for Canterbury. And it's...
I think it was touched by the bench there, so that's going to be a face-off in the defensive zone
right.
for the Devils.
It was just sort of rolling on top of the bench, and whether it hit a hand or whether that's considered as a an out.
Yeah, anybody overhanging there that touches them, it's stopped.
So face-off to the left of Reason. Carson Pratt has got Hurley. And Van Sickle. Delamore with it behind his own net. Can't hit Fontaine. And it rolls all the way into Stampede territory. Hurley tries to hit Pratt, but Reese ends up with it behind his own net, being dogged by Pratt. Bounced off the puck with Van Sickle as well. And it's tapped to the corner. Pratt saying hello to Reese in the corner. Big pressure by this line of Pratt, Van Sickle, and Hurley. And it's bouncing around in the corner. Shot, very weak shot by Coyle, but it rolls all the way to the goaltender, Reason.
Yeah, that third line, especially with Fontaine out there, you get a lot of speed, and also Dallimore. They're looking for an outlet pass, and they just couldn't get that done there. So there's just no danger. It's all staying in the back third, and that's a dangerous place to be for Canterbury.
Full court press. Face off. Puck rolls to the corner. Harrison can't tap it, and it's gathered up by Lowe, I believe. And he skates it in to the Stampede area. Battling for it in the corner. Canterbury comes up with a centering pass. Lockie Freer gives chase against Nichols. And battle for it on the red line. McCog ends up with it, taps it back to True. Haynes. And it's on the red line for Lockie Freer. Saucers it in, forcing a glove save by Reason. And it's tapped all the way down and rolls onto Brooks' stick. Haynes catches it onto a referee. And that could have been the best pass of the game.
It could have been, but unfortunately for Chris Eden, that linesman was just slightly
on the wrong side,
the wrong side. So when he gets it back, it's technically offside.
That's linesman Ben Rotto. All right, face off from the offside dot. Schneider with it. Being heavily dogged. Up to Sofer. Can't control it. Schneider. Hand pass. Whistled down by Rotto. Wow, the pace, intensity, a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit elevated, but at the same time, you can tell they're still trying to feel things out. The Stampede look like they don't want to make any mistakes, and they're doing a good job of just leaving. 2/3 of the game have been on their offensive side of things, so they're doing things right.
14 minutes, 12 seconds left in this first period, 0-0 for those that just joined, but who on earth wouldn't be watching from the start? Shot from the high slot. Brooks kicks it to the side. Tappan, nice little shot by Tappan. Aston Brooks just pushed it to the side. Bit of screen action.
Yeah, I was Tappan trying to hold it in at the point. He kind of took a swat at it, and it was just offside, so it's going to come back out. But a penalty.
Apps.
Was it?
Apps.
So there you go. It's, things get started right now.
Yeah. So this is a real good test of two things, power play and penalty kill, obviously. Great power play. But then Christchurch did really well on their penalty kill in the second game last time they were here.
Yeah, all the feeling out's done with because we're on special teams now.
No more Mr. Nice Guys. Shot just wide by McIntosh. Schneider with it in the corner. Left shot. Puck rolls up and out, giving Canterbury a chance to take a breath.
Playing a very deep and compact zone on this box. It's been known to be tough that way.
Puck centered and stopped and batted out beautifully by Graham, forcing Stampede to regroup. Amston. Lead pass, missing Strayer. Picked up by Tappan, who fires it out, but it doesn't get out. Shot! Big mistake there. Yeah. Amston takes that shot. A bit of clutter in front of the net. McCog there for a little, but Reason just gobbled that up.
Yeah, Reason didn't give up a big rebound there, and that's key because they do need to do. The Red Devils need to get a bit more of a physical presence in front of Reason. Otherwise, they're going to end up giving up one of those garbage goals right out in front of the crease.
No Stampede goal is a garbage goal, Matt. Let's get that straight right now. Let's not, we can't trash talk because we're recycling now. We'll call it recycle talk.
There you go.
Or no. You're right. They've got to get that rebound stopped. Freer behind the net. Harrison with it. Harrison in the corner.
Fontaine in two minds there of how he's defending.
Back to the point. Fake by Freer. Not sure what that was. Amazing save by Reason there with that clutter in front of the net. Puck rolling around unguarded and untouched. And kept in. Back to the point.
20 seconds on the power play.
What a great kill. Only a few shots. That's Connor Harrison. 2 massive whiffs. He's maybe new stick or something. Surely not jitters. It's not like him to have the jitters. Shot from the point. Shot bouncing around. Ends up batted up and out. That'll kill it. Brooks forced to skate up and knock it over the blue line as Apps boogied along to pressure him. Freer flicks it up. And a high shot just over Brooks' head. Can't glove it. Great work by Nichols to stop that bouncing puck. Rubbing the Stampede along the boards. And the puck's fired down and all the way down, forcing Amston up all the way behind his own net and racing it up. Round behind Reason, and it's railed back around onto Amston, stick in his own zone. Across the coil. And Amston rails it up. Sofer forcing the referee out of the way as he collects the puck on the blue line. Neutral zone, bouncing puck, just saved by Rees as Van Sickle was racing for it, and offside's the call. This short ice, because that end-to-end hockey, it's like a tennis match right now, back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, and I'd like to go back to so we normally talk about Dan Nichols being a calming presence in the defense for the Devils, but in that case, he went a little step further and was a physical presence and held up one of those opportunities, did a great job, and that's the reason we're still going back and forth. Graham with it takes the zone, but that comes back out to neutral, and we keep
Graham
going.
Collects it, taps it in, but picked up by Strayer. Strayer in his own zone hits Schneider on the red line, taps to Strayer, can't control it. True on the red line, over the red line, fires it in, rails it around. Lowe picks it up behind his own net. Can't control it. Tapped off the boards to Bull, and Bull races it into the corner. Schneider comes back to help. Centering pass in front, high slot. They're calling for it. The entire Canterbury bench is calling for a bit of a penalty on that. Schneider dances past a couple of, got one more, bounces it off the boards, and it's covered up behind the,
and
digging for it.
Fantastic play by Luke Tappan there to break that up.
Back into the corner where Strayer tries to do something with it. Schneider with it now. Rails it around. Centers. No one there. And collected by the Devils and out to the red line. Haynes bounces, taps it off the boards. And icing is waved off. So Nichols with it. Starts it out over the blue line. Nichols has got 4 with him. And it's tapped up to Freer on the blue line. Freer, big cross ice pass to Harrison. Harrison over the blue line. Shot. Shot again from the other point. Centers. And Freer trying to center. Hits the post. And Orr almost slips away on the red line. McCogg into the corner. McCogg drops back for Freer. Freer and the and the net's knocked off the moorings. That was a bit of a battle behind the net, I think.
Yeah, Big Dan Nichols gets knocked down and thrown into the net, and off it comes for a face-off in the defensive zone.
Holy mackerel, 8 minutes, 29 seconds left in this first period, 0-0. What a great battle. The fans are getting treated to.
Yeah, fast-paced action so far, but again, it's kind of back and forth, but without too many dangerous opportunities on either side.
No big breakaways and no big posts or anything yet.
Not
Watch
yet.
this space.
That's right.
Stay tuned. Amston with it in the neutral zone, drags it back. And McCog just puts it straight onto Orr's stick, who gets a shot away. And it's covered up by Brooks. And I'm not sure, Canterbury digging for it. And the Stampede, wait for, the whistle didn't blow.
Yeah, it was out in front of Brooks for a moment there, so Orr was trying to slap that in. Didn't quite get there, though, but that's a good, dangerous opportunity for Joe Orr to come in pretty much untouched for a little while there.
Yeah, a few mistakes by the Stampede on that puck rolling onto, they're trying to do something with it, and it rolls onto Canterbury stick. Van Sickle boogies along that left side, over the blue line, takes a shot, low drive, wide of the net. Puck bounces onto Van Sickle's stick, who dumps it back in. Hurley can't get a piece of it, and it's dumped into the neutral zone by Dodwell. Amston with it. Can't hit Hurley, and it rolls on to Reese's stick, who over the red line dumps it in behind the net. Hurley with it in the corner for Stampede. Tappin on his blue line. Cross ice, stopped by Van Sickle, fires it in around behind the net, giving the Stampede a chance for a line change, and a few of the Devils as well. Cross ice pass, big race for it. Fontaine giving True some set up pace and ends up with it. Huge race, and now Van Sickle with it over the red line, or Strayer with it over the red line. Marches it in, centering pass, no one there, and his pass ends up all the way into Stampede area.
Mistake on the Stampede's part. He dragged 3 defenders in, and there were a lot of openings there, and he made the pass, but nobody home.
Yep, everybody followed in with him.
Yep.
They got caught up in his wake. Brown over the red line, fires it in. True with it now, True. Loses it.
That was offsides the entire time.
Right.
Never cleared. Pervert touches it.
But still that nervous stick handling or something, I realized that it wasn't offside. But still, you just wouldn't want to do that.
Dave, I drove over here today from Christchurch. Beautiful drive. But in the car, the temperature said 21 degrees.
Incredible.
I'm expecting this puck will be messy and these ice will be a bit bouncy. And there goes the vulcanized rubber right up at our eye level.
Yeah, it looked pretty good to me.
Slow motion.
Yeah. Puck rolls up to the blue line where Graham carries it, and it loses it on the blue line. Freer taps it up to McCog. Icing is the call. I'm sad to hear that you had to drive. We could have sent the helicopter for you. It would have been a lot quicker, and you get a good view with the helicopter. And if you're lucky enough to see the our opening bit of work, our live faces, and like I say, my mother said that I had a face for radio.
And a voice for print, if I remember
yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Is that the quote?
Yeah, that's the quote.
I remember that from last time.
But you saw how lovely our, this corporate box is.
Oh, yes.
And all those special treats like the helicopter and the
everybody forgot the puck.
and the private jet. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, we're all set except we're missing one little thing.
Nobody went and grabbed the puck. Now they have, so we're underway.
Kenny, referee. Kenny just, one little thing.
It's just one little thing. It's all right.
Somebody's going to owe a little bit of a box of beer for that. Shot from the point. Backhand by Eden, and Brooks. Big body save, but the rebound. Canterbury setting something up, keeping it into the corner, railing it up to Harrison. Harrison, he hits Freer, but Freer can't collect it. And icing is the call. I thought Freer touched that, but obviously not.
I think we're going to – okay, so True's going back out on the ice because of the icing call.
It must have been a miscommunication. Stampede would never try a line change on an icing. They just wouldn't do that.
No, of course not. It'll be interesting. Again, this is the third line, and they do look a little bit lost. I don't mean that in a bad way, other than they just aren't really cohesive in their spacing yet, and that's something they did really well in prior games, so we'll see if they make an adjustment.
Tape-to-tape passes are missing. Shot on net! Through that clutter and a bouncing pass. Brooksy, I don't know how he pulled that off because it was through about 4 bodies.
Yeah, and Dallimore with a good wrister. Dallimore's an interesting story. He's actually, after next weekend, should they get that far, or the end of this series, he heads to Spain to play professional hockey in the Premier League for one of the clubs there.
How interesting. Shot again. Brooks kicks out for a rebound shot. Oh, can't tap that in. Was Perver open net. Brooks puts up a huge rebound. And icing is the call. Boy, get out of jail free card used up there.
Yep. Yeah, that puck was spinning, sitting, bouncing, and Perver just doing everything he could to swipe at it, but didn't make it happen. And that keeps them off the board and keeps us at 0-0.
Brooks just way out of position. Well, he made the big save, and then,
Yeah, he couldn't get over.
Low, neutral zone.
Yeah, now that's an example right there through neutral ice where they're having a bit of communication problems and not getting that puck back in.
Strayer knocked down. Bit of physicality in the corner as Strayer pulls it out. And Schneider can't control a bouncing puck. He is pretty magical with that puck up close, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I like this rusty Matt Snyder stuff.
Yeah.
This being his first game back, it's very helpful for everybody in red, because we know how good he is. If he gets going, that's going to be a dangerous situation. So we'll take him rusty as it is and be happy with it.
Let's see if he doesn't get better. Just a half a stick off. As Sofer collects it in his own zone. Sofer, huge lead pass to Van Sickle, and his tap just over the glass, which means dead puck zone.
Yeah, center ice face-off. I guess, before we get too far away, we do need to talk about the format here and make sure that the viewers actually know that this is a 6-period game, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
I know how excited you are to talk about this.
Very interesting format for this weekend. These two teams battling it out to play against the Admirals next weekend. And so it's a two-game battle, which will end up being a total points over the 2 games, which is really interesting.
Yeah, we'll talk about that right at the end of the period. How about we do that so we save the action?
Yeah, but these poor fans, they'll be hanging on.
They will.
Mind you, they'll be listening anyway.
They will.
That's right.
Nobody's going to turn you off, Dave.
Don't touch that dial.
They don't have dials anymore, Dave. Just saying.
Matt, just saying. Thanks. Carson Pratt taking the face off for the Stampede. Nichols collects it, fires it all the way down. And icing is the call. We have 4 minutes, 13 seconds left in this tied up 0-0 game. And everybody seems to be a half a stick off their passes.
Yep.
And bouncing puck doesn't help. It might be the warm weather.
It was nice today.
I did check the puck out earlier. It does have a few goals left in it.
It's not broken, right?
Not broken, nope.
All right.
McIntosh rails it around. Freer can't keep that in. And Van Sickle backhands to Carson Pratt. McIntosh to Freer. Carson Pratt off the boards. Hurley off the boards to Carson Pratt. He's got McIntosh drifting in, and just behind McIntosh was the pass. Eden marches past, beats Hurley, and knocked off the puck by Freer. McIntosh carries to the corner and leaves it, goes for a line change as McCogg works hard trying to get that puck. Big lead pass to Eden, intercepted by Amston. Amston skates it over the blue line, carries to the corner, centering, shot, big quick shot, great save. That was so quick, one-timer.
Yeah, I can't say much, anything more about Amston's skating. His skating and spinning that around to get that shot, or get that pass over to Harrison for the shot, absolutely a thing of beauty.
But
great curve.
Reason just gobbling that up.
Yeah, he's in a good spot. Again, that's what he does. He's in the right spot more often than not, and makes him a very good goaltender.
Puck rolls around, forcing Freer into the corner against the wall. Rolls around to Amston on the other side, back behind the net. McCog carries to the corner, feeds Amston on the point. Coyle, shot wide. Puck bounces into the corner. McCog with it. McCog. Freer behind the net, centering, picked up by Eden. Eden gets it out to the red line, and Harrison takes a little feed, takes it to the corner. Spinorama, pass in front. No one there to collect it, and Red Devils march it out. Amston behind his own net, being dogged by Eden, and now marches it over the red line. Amston still has a shot. Big rebound. That's one of the first rebounds I've seen Reason give up, but no one there to collect it. Bit of body work by Schneider. I don't know, you call that rusty? I don't know. It's still working pretty hard. Coyle can't keep it in, and it's batted all the way down the ice.
I just meant his stick work.
Oh.
He's still a very tall drink of water.
Yeah. Big presence on the ice. Strayer hits Sofer.
Wonder what that gear is out there. It doesn't. That's not a puck out there.
Is that my cell phone? What's my cell phone doing out there? What the heck?
Stop taking selfies, Dave. Strayer
with it. Strayer centering. Oh, Schneider can't collect that. Yeah, I know what you're going to say. The rust shows up.
I was going to let that go, but if you want to bring it up, that's okay.
Strayer, big shot. And finally, whistle dead. I think they just needed a bit of a change and a chance to clear whatever that clutter is off the ice, too.
Indeed. Yeah, not sure what that is, but it's probably just a piece of padding.
Yeah.
Likely. So minute 30 to go here in this first period.
It's an iPhone 12.
It's on sale now, right?
You'll find it on Trade Me. $1 reserve.
90 seconds left here. And
what a game. What a first period.
It's been good. It's been good.
Huge first period. Nichols behind his own net. Delamore back to Nichols, who takes it behind the net. And unfortunate for Nichols, whistle dead
that was
off
deflected.
the timber. Yeah. So it'll go out. Lucky.
Yeah, the Stampede looking immediately to try to get a delay of game call there, but was seen to be deflected. So we continue.
That old chestnut. Carson Pratt facing off 4. Stampede to the right of Reason. Puck bouncing around on the dot. Nobody can collect it. Off the boards. And Canterbury not only get it out, but also a very weak trip, but a tripping call it is with 1 minute, 8 seconds left.
Yeah, Van Sickle
reaching.
He wasn't meaning to, obviously, but he did trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's going to get the call going. I think it was Delamore he upended as they were trying to get out of that zone. So one of those interesting minor penalties that'll pretty much bisect the first and second period.
Right. I don't think the Stampede would ever get a penalty on purpose.
Well,
back to the blue line. Shot bounces off a body, and trying to stick handle on his butt was Amston. Apps with it in the corner. Apps being pressured by Freer. Apps takes it to the blue line. Shot wide. Shot close angle. Back to the point. Cross ice. Tappin feeds Eden, who takes a cracker just wide. Railed up and out, giving the boys a chance for a change. And Tappin takes control in his own zone as McCog pressures heavily. Schneider out there with McCog on the penalty kill with Freer and McIntosh. Apps, here's a chance for Schneider. Schneider takes a shot just off a pad. Big leave mistake for the Canterbury team, but got out of jail there. That's their get out of jail free card there with Schneider. And
That is the period,
That's
actually.
yeah. I was wondering why the whistle, but
Yeah.
I was so tangled up in the play that I didn't listen to the clock.
Yeah, so the penalty ending there, that
The period ending, but the penalty going through.
52 seconds on that period to carry through, on the penalty to carry through on the tripping to Van Sickle. It was interesting. You could see Bradley App's face as he saw that puck left behind for Schneider. There was nothing he could do, and you see Schneider take off up the ice. But my point about rust is there. How many times does Schneider bury that in seasons past? So, not saying that it won't happen here later on, but since we have a long game, a 6-period game.
Yes.
That's my segue, Dave. Tell us more about it.
So we're playing tonight. The game will play for 3 periods. Tomorrow night, puck drops, 3 more periods, and the total points, goals scored for and against are, and so it's like a big 6-period game, Matt. Holy moly! Like that's just.
It's always 6 periods in a 24-hour period.
That's right. In my mind, that whole battle of 6 periods in 24 hours, bodies, brains, but they're as sharp as they're ever going to be because this is end of season stuff. Best condition they'll be in, but bodies. If you have any niggles, it's going to show up.
Yeah, it is. So just to clarify for those of you that are watching, the game will reset. So tomorrow will be 0-0. Despite the fact it's 0-0, that might actually happen the way we're going here. But no matter what the score is at the end of tonight, tomorrow starts anew as a new game. But
Great.
with 6 periods, if there's no away goals or anything like that, so we'll see how that goes tomorrow. But that takes us to the end of the first period of action. 0-0 the score.
Yeah, amazing. Great opportunity to thank those people that are listening. You guys that couldn't get into this sold-out, those people that couldn't get into the sold-out game. And to those, obviously nationally, the Admirals especially will be sitting there watching this. You can imagine.
They will.
Bag of popcorn, a little beverage, watching this, probably giggling at it all because they're sitting up in the throne waiting just to see who's going to come along.
We'll see who goes and plays them next week.
Also internationally, people that are listening and watching to this, some good hockey.
Yeah.
So thanks. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in the second period. Thanks.
Perfect.
Bye.
We'll see you.
Welcome back. Start of the second period. Battle between the SkyCity Stampede, the Canterbury Red Devils. Semifinal. What a barn burner. 0-0. We're going in with a power play for the Canterbury Red Devils. About a minute left. Matt, what's your take on that first period?
A pretty good one for the Red Devils in this case. The Red Devils had every reason to fall behind there, but the puck broke their way in a couple of instances. And a 0-0 scoreline actually suits them just fine. And I think this is going to be interesting with the long shifts coming up here.
Yep, the long shift. 0-0. Both teams giving up opportunities, but goaltenders making fantastic saves. Apps who was banging at it and the open net.
Yep.
All right, so we're back. Boys are back on the ice. You know, you talked earlier, glorious day, 18 degrees. You think that's hot? Man, she's hot in here. You can feel the heat. The ice is cold. Blades are moving quickly. Great opportunity. And the first, who's gonna break those goalies? Which one is it gonna be?
Oh, I know. It feels like it's gonna be one of those situations where a bounce or a break is gonna go somebody's way, and then the floodgates open up. But we'll see how that goes because, like you were saying, it's the first period. Everyone was feeling everybody out, and I agree with you. Pretty much everybody was afraid of making the big pass and big mistake. I expect to see a lot of longer passes this period to try to break some one-on-ones and some streaky players towards the goals to get this thing cracked open.
Hey, and a big thank you to Michael and Josh on the cameras and the buttons in the back. They're doing all the hard work. I'm just here talking, which I do really well. I talk a lot. Ask any of my friends. All right, puck drop. Eden marching it up over the red line. Blue line. Across to Fontaine. Fontaine. Shot. Easy kick back to the corner on Fontaine's stick. Remembering there's a penalty kill as Eden on the blue line. Cross ice. One time was Nichols. Kind of just half a hit on that. And it's kicked out by Sofer. Schneider dances past Eden. And Eden tangles him up just at the last minute. Fontaine picks it up on the blue line. Or can't hit him. And Freer slides into the corner. And it's slapped up and all the way around to by Sofer.
And that's going to kill the penalty. So back to 5-on-5 action as Van Sickle comes out and goes straight to the bench.
Sofer on the red line. Pushes it. Shovels it just into Canterbury zone. And hand pass. So whistle dead. So people wondering, Matt Schneider, retirement is never part of this. His wife having a child coming from Vietnam, wanting to have the child in Vietnam with the family, and so he's been spending most of the season there with her and the little one. Now he's back.
Saisho tipped that, no icing here.
Saisho, I think one of his first shifts on the ice now. Tapping. Neutral zone, low. Taps it up to Graham, who puts it into SkyCity territory. McCog with it over the blue line from Harrison. Shot wide, off the glass, rolls to the point. Coyle can't tap it. And Saisho boogies it in. And shot from not quite the point, but it was right on target there.
Yeah, and Saisho was right in front to try to get something deflected past Brooks. Didn't work out that time, but a good shift by the line there for the Devils. And like you said, Saisho had a good minute out there on the ice.
You know, he didn't tap it that time, but if you keep putting yourself in that position, it is going to work. So face off to the right of Brooks. McIntosh out there for SkyCity Stampede with Freer. Shot from Fontaine, deflected wide. Van Sickle bumped off the puck.
It's good defense by Colin McIntosh in the slot there. That was a ringer for him if he wasn't there at the right spot.
Here's a chance. Great work by Fontaine to muscle the puck off of McIntosh and almost had himself a breakaway. Freer off the boards, rails it up to Van Sickle over the red, and Van Sickle marches it in, backhands it in front of maybe a little bit of a blocker saves, but not hard for Reason. Delamore behind the net.
Very good defense by Sean Brown, turning him out and forcing a backhanded shot in.
And Canterbury low with it over the red line, over the blue line, and it rolls onto glove of Aston Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks wanted no part of that. Looks for the face-off and holds on to it in order to slow what has been a good Canterbury offense to start the second period just under 3 minutes in.
Yeah, Nigel, very close game. Good to see. Bex, if you're watching, you're probably sitting on the edge of your seat. Amston behind the net and skates it up. Hits Schneider on the red line, who takes a shot off the glass, rolls to the red line where Haynes collects it and fires it in.
That's the first shot from Schneider I've seen that's been absolutely zipped. That was a laser.
He just needs to find a hole now. All right, Amston hits Schneider. Not well, though, because it rolls off his stick, and Canterbury just clear it out. Apps with it on the blue line, a red line, taps it into the blue line, where Eden can't collect it. Schneider on the blue line. Schneider, little flick to Sofer, centering to Schneider. Schneider scores! The rust, a little bit of CRC during the break, perhaps.
Yeah, 5-hole Reason, and did a really good job of being in the right place at the right time, coming straight down the slot with some speed, and he gets a good pass right in front. Reason has no chance. 5-hole him, coming across. You're going to see the pass here. He reaches behind, takes a very fast shot. Reason not expecting it, and 1-0 the score for the SkyCity Stampede, taking the lead in this two-game, multi-game series.
Low with it now in his own zone. Puck was across ice, tapping. But Harrison races for it and collects it. Can't center. Freer taps it back to Harrison. Back to Freer in the corner. Back to Harrison, but it's broken up. Up and out. Freer tries to tap it in, but Orr gets in the way and it bounces into the Stampede bench.
Dave, it feels like the lid's off. Like the energy is back in the building now that the goal's been scored. But at the same time, it's.
I agree with you, but the Red Devils, it's just a twist of a screw, and all of a sudden the Devils are back in this. So it's the pace has just increased a little bit though. Freer takes a shot, and Reason gloves that.
Yeah, Reason saw that one all the way, so glove, and we'll redo that one.
McCog facing off for the Stampede to the right of Reason. Puck up but not out. Kept in by Stampede. Harrison takes it to the corner, fires it to the center. And Lockie Freer takes a quick shot from the blue line as the puck rolls onto his stick. Mitchell Freer with it now. Does the turn. Red line, fires it in. No icing called. Forcing Devils back into their own zone and start marching it out. Sideshow can't carry. Bumped off the puck by Hurley. And it's turned around. Freer over the red line and fires it to the corner. Forcing Hurley to chase against Brown. And it's still bouncing around in the corner. Still Carson Pratt can't collect it. And behind the net now as Canterbury try to break it out. And Delamore, an unfortunate kick off his skate, ends up going on icing. They're rolling all the way down the ice for icing.
Yeah, this is an interesting set of players out on the ice at the moment here with you've got Delamore, but Reese, but also Brown, and just a very mismatched line for the Devils. They need to get some continuity here. They're having a hard time passing amongst each other.
Shot, battle for it in front of the net, but Reason just stopping everything there as Van Sickle centering, can't hit, and picked up by Canterbury. Big march forward. Brown to the corner, carries, broken up though. Van Sickle, cross ice pass, and tapped by Brown, so it's no icing. Carson Pratt's little shot, no one there to help collect the rebound. Canterbury just a half a pace off on this at the moment, Matt.
They are indeed, and the line changes here are, well, we'll see if they gel. That's what we're going to be looking for in the next 5 minutes if this works out. Big coach's call.
The puck is in the corner, finally collected by Strayer. Strayer by himself, rubbed up by Nichols, and rolls behind the net where Strayer gives chase, bumped him down. McIntosh with it now in the corner. McIntosh glides, trying to center, can't. Off a skate, Schneider forced to the corner. Schneider, McIntosh shot, covered up, giving the face-off deep in that Canterbury zone. Those crab cakes at the first break, Michael, you had probably 6 of them. And what is that, a Chablis you're chasing it down with? Like, I think it's a 72 vintage. Go easy on that. That's expensive stuff.
Dave, you are always selling the tourism here. I love it.
All right, face-off to the right of Reason. Number 4, Schneider facing off for the SkyCity Stampede. Thumping around behind the net.
That's going to be a boarding call. Sofer's going to go for
2 minutes.
2 minutes. That's been big. And the other thing that's happened in the last couple of minutes, besides just the line changes, there have been 3 consecutive face-off wins by the Red Devils, which has meant they've held possession for just a little bit longer starting things out. It's helped them quite a bit establish an offensive presence getting out of their zone, which has really relieved the pressure, which has done really well for them this period so far. We'll see if that continues now that they've got the power play.
Face-off to the left of Aston Brooks. Eden with it now. Eden back to tapping on the blue line. Eden trying to center, can't.
Ooh.
Shot tapped just over the net. Had a bit of a corner there too. Or with it behind the net. McIntosh battling for it behind. Finally rails it up and out.
As the Red Devils get reset here, the second line's coming off for the Stampede. They played a very interesting, almost a man-on-man situation. Very disruptive so far, not letting the Devils set up their power play.
Railing it up and around was the Devils. Tapping it up. Finally, Carson Pratt kicks it out to the blue line. Tapping, carries to his own zone. Bad timing for the line change for Carson Pratt. Frere picks up the puck on the red line, though. Frere. Offside is the call. Frere kind of whiffed on his stick handling just as he was stepping over the blue line, and I'm not sure who it was on this side, just was at pace. And
yeah, the whiff caused the offside, yes, definitely. Yeah, I didn't see who it was coming off the ice, but it's a good stop for the Devils with 67 seconds on the power play. They need to get something organized, and I think that's the word. They may have some options here, but organization is escaping them at the moment, so they need to get that started so they get a good opportunity here.
Frere forechecking heavily, and Canterbury finally start to march it out. Delamore feeds it up. Brown slams on the brakes in the corner, back to the point. Brown just a shot in trying to get some clutter in front and deflection, and now Canterbury setting it up. Shot, Brooks saves. Back to the point, cross to Brown. Brown off his foot, bouncing. Delamore with it. Delamore back to Brown. Brown fakes a shot, and it's bumped into the corner. Delamore back to Brown. Brown on the blue line, shot, kicked wide, and I think it went off some timber.
Yeah, goes out of play, just up into the netting and just off the rail up there. Just under 10 seconds to go on this power play, but that organization worked, and the defense for the penalty kill pulled back. I think they didn't have the bodies to pull off that man-on-man, so they pulled back, and that was the most effective minute of special teams for the Devils this afternoon.
And puck rolls behind the net. That penalty will be over.
We are now clear of that penalty. Van Sickle's going to come out as Sofer
Chance.
hits the bench.
And again, the puck rolled onto Eden's stick through a whole bunch of sticks. And I don't think he realized he was going to be blessed with an opportunity like that. And it ends up getting kicked, I think, off a skate into the net. So great opportunity for Eden.
And again, we have these mixed up lines here. You got Hopkins out there on defense here looking for a pass from Orr after he wins this face-off. And there it is.
Hopkins falling down, unfortunately, on the blue line. Apps with it. Apps in the corner. And he's being harassed by Freer. Back and fed to Orr in the corner. Back to Hopkins. Hopkins loses it. And Van Sickle gives chase. Big shot straight on the money. Huge boogie by Van Sickle, who just stepped past off, who kind of fumbled it on the blue line. 11 minutes, 5 seconds left in this 1-0 game for the Stampede.
Yeah, big mistake by Hopkins there giving that up. But the defense coming back over and hustling back kept that shot far away from Reason's goal, allowing for an easy save.
Puck rolls in front, and Hurley taps it, rolls it onto the glove of Reason. It covers up nicely in that clutter in front.
Dangerous 5-hole opportunity for just a split second, but Reason closed the hole. And
back to the blue line. True taps it to Van Sickle, takes that shot again, but Reason puts his body in front of it, stopping that. And tapping, marching it up, and tap on the blue line, tap back in by Hurley, breaking that up. And True ends up with it on his own blue line, rails it up. And Schneider, here's a chance for Schneider against Tappan. Schneider steps past Tappan, can't quite tuck it in. Some great maneuvering though. It's pretty to watch, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you've
but
seen
but he didn't get it in the net. That's what you're going to say.
I'm going to say this very politely. He's the most elegant giraffe I've ever seen on skates. But he knows how to move that puck, and he almost got it back through his legs, which was amazing.
Like Mick Jagger.
Just didn't quite get anything on the shot, and that's why we have a face-off coming up.
Yeah, the crease was closing in on him fast.
Yep, ran out of space.
Yep. Schneider facing off for SkyCity Stampede. Puck pushed to the corner. And fired up where Amston picks it up on the red line. Amston over the blue line. Dances through a couple. Takes a shot wide. And Coyle's forced into his own zone. Coyle. Big feed up to Schneider, but Strayer takes it. Strayer loses it on his stick handle. And Schneider pushes it on over the line. Big shot. Puck glides over the crease. And Amston with it now. Shot just wide. Fontaine. Knocked down by Schneider. And the puck bounces over Coyle's stick. Coyle bounces it off the boards to Schneider. And Strayer, Sofer ends up with it to Strayer. Strayer can't hit Schneider in front. And it's off a post. And finally just stopped by Reason just to he had to stop it, but gives a chance for both teams to regroup.
Strayer's got to pull the trigger there. That's an opportunity that
lost.
You've got a 2-on-2, and you've got a player, I think it was Fontaine, but I'm not positive, who was watching, trying to make sure that nothing happened with a pass towards Schneider, and he strayed off, sorry for the pun, and Strayer had an opportunity and was still looking for the pass, didn't take it. So big, that may change coming up pretty soon here.
Big centering pass, just couldn't reach it. Number 44, Kaluznik couldn't quite reach that. First time, I think, for him on the ice. And McIntosh can't control it. Freer over the blue line, taps it up to Harrison, who rails it into the corner. And it's up, but not out. And just a whole bunch of fanning on the ice. People missing the puck left, right, and center at the moment. Finally tapped up. And McCog touches it, so no icing.
You know, while you're thinking about that, there are a lot of those misses, and you're right. And that's a big
chance
miss here.
for Lockie Freer. Lockie, great opportunity. Good shot, but great, even a better save by Reason.
I don't know how you lose Colin McIntosh like that. That was a mistake by the bench and the line
leaving
change.
Lockie Freer wide open on that far side. McIntosh, he's old enough cookie to know how to play this, and he's bumps him off the puck, and McIntosh, defenseman McIntosh giving chase. And here's Canterbury, red lines.
SkyCity taking that in
SkyCity
offsides.
just an offside, just must have been a half a toe. One toe over the line.
Yeah, so what I was trying to get the point out is that there are a lot of missed passes and shots off the blades, but that is a result of people keeping their eyes up. They're not staring at the puck. They're not wanting to get hit, and they're paying attention to what's going on the ice, and they sometimes forget that they have to move the puck in order to keep things going.
And you did say it, but could be a bit stickier.
It could be a bit
with the
stickier
heat.
too. Yep. Although the ice does look in very good condition.
Big thanks to Ted and Dan Graham, who run this place, lovers of hockey.
Skull! He got
Huge
it.
miss. What a
Bradley Apps with that one. Let's see
Just-
that again. That is a surprise. It was just a quick turnover.
Yeah, it was just a missed puck, really narrow.
Nobody was expecting a shot there or anything.
No, it was. I don't know. I don't think it was a shot. I think it was more of just a tap. Yeah, no.
That was a shot. It was just it was missed against the boards, and Apps was back there playing defense effectively, and sure enough, the puck comes right over.
I think Brooks
Bang it home.
was thinking about the puck drifting to the other side and already perhaps mentally thought that he's got to get to the other side, but yeah.
We just talked about things being missed on sticks, right on cue, and we're 1-1 here in Queenstown.
That angle must have been so narrow.
Very narrow. But Brooks wasn't set up correctly, and that's why it gets past him.
Yep. And just a bad bounce. Bad bounce off the boards. I think that was Haynes who couldn't quite collect it.
Yep.
So icing is the call. Now we have a different game.
We do. We
1-0.
have a very good,
That's right.
good contest.
Halfway through this game.
Yep.
Because we're at 7:38. So we're over halfway. And it's 1-0. Quick shot. Cleared out. Where Freer clears it to the red line, but Nichols grabs it. Sofer takes that quick shot, and Reason just gobbles that up. I don't know how it ended up on Sofer's stick, but man, he's fast.
Oh, he's good. So Sofer took a good angle in to take a nice curve towards the net. Strayer made an excellent backhanded pass. That 1-2 work gives them a good opportunity. Luckily for Reason, he just had to sit there and wait for that puck to come in.
Face off to the right of Reason. And it's railed up by Nichols and out. True forced to chase as Canterbury comes on with Fontaine with it. Fontaine backhands it onto Brooks's pads, who gobbles that up. He did have a player in front of the net, which could have been an opportunity, but perhaps looking for a rebound too.
Yeah, Fontaine's a good skater, and he's going to get there quickly, but because of the way he was coming in, it forced a backhanded shot. He didn't go across the crease because he couldn't, and that made it an easy save for Brooks.
Face off. Oh. Rotto not happy with that face off. Linesman Ben Rotto. So he'll try it again. Perver facing off for Canterbury against Schneider.
Big face-off win there.
Yep, big one against Schneider.
And that's deflected up. Reese's long slap shot goes up into the netting here in the arena, and that's going to cause another face-off in the offensive zone for the Devils. This is that post 5-minute lull here. We'll see if anybody can turn this around and snap things back into action. But right now, it's kind of a little passive, Dave.
Yeah. Oh, no such thing as passive hockey. No, you're right. It's just sort of neutral zone action. Maybe this will change. Strayer races in. And it's batted up to Schneider in the corner.
Penalty coming up here on Dallimore. He's going to be called for hooking against Schneider. Schneider, I think he actually got his stick inside of the skate.
Yeah. Wait, and Dallimore saying, "Wait, it wasn't me." Well, we'll do some fingerprints on that stick and see whose it is.
Yeah, of all the tripping calls in the world, That's the most evidence I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out this.
Yep.
All right, so chance for Stampede to march ahead, but as we've seen before, their penalty kill of Canterbury is pretty spectacular. Amston, cross to Strayer, who walks it in, cross ice, just tapped, and up and out beautifully by Sisho. Great boogie there against Colin McIntosh.
And interestingly, the setup for the Devils in this case was Graham going out man-on-man and playing a triangle, which is unusual to see. It may have just been a man-on-man situation, but it was 3 deep and 1 heavy forecheck on the high side. We'll see if that continues, because that's a big change for the Devils if that is indeed a strategy switch.
McCog, unpressured in the corner, marches it in slowly behind the net. Strayer cross ice. Fantastic shot by McIntosh, but even a better save by Reason, who drifted across the net.
Yeah, well, he drifted closer because that is exactly what they were doing. They're playing 3 low. Matt Graham ended up with a skating out a little bit closer to the blue line, and when he did, McIntosh had room behind and got a good shot off. So we'll see if they adjust.
All right. Face off to the right of Reason. McCog forced to the corner with it. Back to McIntosh on the point. Back to McCog. And a spectacular shot rolling across the goal line. And it's batted up and out. Boy, how many get out of jail free cards can you have in one game?
I know, but it hit the pipe and bounced away, and
it rolled across along the goal line and out of danger, which is spectacular opportunity. Eden left alone there on the blue line. Shot, puck rolling around.
Short-handed opportunities here.
And marching it up. Schneider now over the red line. Schneider, blue line. To the corner, slams on the brakes, feeds across, blocked by Orr, who taps it all the way down. 39 seconds left in this penalty to Dallymore.
Helpful to keep Schneider towards the boards there. Nobody in the middle, and they couldn't really set anything up. So with just about 30 seconds to go in this power play, it'll be interesting to see how they set up the remaining attack.
Sofer along the boards. In that Canterbury zone, takes it behind the net, feeds McIntosh. McIntosh slides it in front, puck bouncing around in front. Schneider gathers it up off the pipe and batted up off of the glass and out. And Freer contains it on the blue line, hits Haynes, or hits his brother Lockie, sorry.
And the penalty is over. It's 5-on-5 hockey.
Great narrow shot there, and that was quite sneaky, trying for the 5-hole on that narrow angle shot by Lockie Freer.
So a very interesting power play and surviving it. The Devils got through that one, but a lot of different changes in the way that they approach that. So we'll see if that continues throughout the game.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully they don't get any more penalties. Let's go there.
Yeah, start with that. There's a puck bouncing around in front. Can't cover it up, and it's still rolling there. Carson Pratt with it behind the net. He's got Van Sickle behind the net. Bad bounce. Swing and a miss by Hurley. Taps it. Shot. Quick shot. Big rebound. And Canterbury seems to be kind of maybe mismatched or something, but struggling to get it out. And it bounces to the red line where Bert Haynes picks it up. Haynes bumped up against the boards. Haynes back to Van Sickle. Van Sickle, big feed pass to Hurley. Hurley over the blue line. He's got Carson Pratt drifting in. Puck, big bounce just behind the net. Haynes drifts into the corner, rails it behind the net. And Canterbury start marching it out. Rolls behind the net where Freer slams on the brakes and taps to the corner. Strayer to Sofer. Sofer not liking what he saw. He's being dogged by Sisho. Up to Schneider. Schneider carries, and Reason puts an end to that. Schmazel. 3 minutes, 6 seconds left. 1-all. Second period. No penalties at the moment. Whew.
You sound excited, Dave.
Excited, nervous, you know.
Can already feel that nervous energy coming out of you.
Energy.
Here. It's a long game here. I'm starting to realize what this really kind of means, in the sense that nobody really has to push yet. In a normal playoff game, you start to feel a little bit of things coming towards a conclusion.
True.
Not yet here.
True can't keep that in. So Sofer dumps it in, and it's batted up to True, who forces it to the red line to Schneider. Schneider can't hit Sofer. Eden picks it up. Eden, beautiful feed to Eden. Shot, and it hits some timber. I wasn't sure where that puck was going. Ashton Brooks was kind of looking both ways, wondering where that puck was going to pop out.
Yeah, that puck, as soon as it came off Eden's stick, gets deflected straight up in the air away from Brooks, and that's a tough one for a goaltender. When you lose it, you just don't know where it is. It's the pit of your stomach for about a half a second until you get it back in your sight.
Luckily, it hit some timber and quieted things down. Nichols just keeps it in, fires it around behind the net, where Amston puts it up to Sofer. It's over the red line, and it actually rolls all the way onto Reason's stick, forcing a face-off in Canterbury zone. Exciting hockey as well as this happening. We have the women's finals, the NZIHL women's final happening in Dunedin this weekend. Huge battle. All the teams will be playing. We've got Canterbury and Christchurch.
Yeah, you're looking forward to that because you're going down there, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm tangled up with that with Coach Colin and
Wakatipu, right?
Yep, the Wakatipu Wild, who have closed their regular season in first place. So, but you know, there's only a couple games in it, so we'll see what happens there. Big lead pass to Perver, who can't collect it, and it rolls to the corner where Cole tosses it for an icing with 1 minute 54 seconds. Seems like we just stepped out here.
Yeah, it has gone very quickly, hasn't it?
I still have some crumbs from those lovely sausage rolls.
Here we go.
Sitting on my lapel here.
So the long change hasn't really seemed to affect too much here, but there have been a couple of long passes that we've noted, but not quite the change I was expecting to see. We'll see how it breaks
Shot
out.
Through a screen, but blocked by a pad. Fontaine off the boards, and it's broken up by Cole. Delamore taps it back to Nichols, and who fires it forward, and it's on. Big Freer doing a backhand, but fed Canterbury, who took a quick shot. That was a bit of a mistake there by Mitchell Freer, veteran Mitchell Freer, who doesn't usually make mistakes like that.
Yeah, and giving it to Fontaine like that. He's just going to rip one, see what happens. Brooks gloves it, and that's going to help out his team to get a change in an offensive faceoff.
Tangled up on the dot as Graham takes a shot off a pad, bounces to the corner. Carson Pratt battling for it. Amston ends up with it on the far corner. And Hurley does a great work of robbing Graham from the puck. And then it's kicked out by Van Sickle and Sideshow.
You almost caught that one, didn't you, Dave?
Yeah. I could see the printing on it.
There you go. So I did want to mention one of the keys to the game, and we've been talking about this over the course of the season in Red Devils broadcast. They're getting outshot again, and that is a very good indicator as to how things are going. They don't have to win the shot count, but when they're vastly behind, and I think right now they're 33-14, it says. It's not a good indication for the long-term health of a team if you're getting outshot that much.
Well, you know, at least Reason's staying warm. Oh, geez. Big whiff on it just at the wrong time as Sofer was giving pressure, but he couldn't collect it. Schneider pushed up against the boards beautifully by Sideshow. Sideshow is really working hard against Schneider, and that's icing is the call. And Sideshow just keeping up with Schneider, pushing him around a little bit, not letting him get that space that Schneider, he doesn't need much to get his mojo going.
Yeah, what's he giving up there? 40 centimeters? It's ridiculous, whatever it is in height. But he's doing his best to pester him, and it's worked so far. So another big face-off with 40 and a half seconds, I think it is. Yep, there we go. And the Stampede with it for just a moment, but SkyCity gets it.
Lead pass to Graham. Graham steps over the blue line, tapped off. The puck is tapped off his stick by Amston, and Strayer picks it up over the blue line. Strayer leaves.
It's another one where Strayer doesn't pull the trigger.
And broken up, but now Schneider, puck bouncing in front. Puck rolling around in front again. But great work by defense, clear it out. Amston to McIntosh controlling on the blue line, getting pushed around by Apps.
That's going to end the period right there.
And that's going to be it. And that ends the second period. Good heavens. It's warm in here.
It is getting warm in here. I do want to say, though, that for the long shifts, I think one of the most important things that the Red Devils did very well in that second period, no big mistakes in line changes coming over the boards and not getting
costing,
costing them. That has been something that can occasionally cost them against Stampede. So we're gonna wrap this one up pretty quickly here and get to second intermission.
Yeah.
So we'll be back here in about 12 minutes. Dave, Matt, we'll see you in a little bit.
We're back. Third period. Oh my goodness, Matt. What a barn burner. 1-all game. 2 goals scored in the second period.
Yep.
Few penalties. Kind of opening it up a little bit.
A little bit.
But like you keep saying, nobody wants to make a big mistake.
Nobody wants to make a big mistake. But at the same time, this is going to be one of the strangest third periods I've ever witnessed, because we know this is not the end of the game. So I expect that the strategy that both teams bring will not be a third period strategy that you might be used to, where you are managing the game based on a win or a loss today. This is just another first period, if you will, setting it up. We're just tied going into tomorrow right now.
Like the never-ending story.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but Atreyu, does that ring a bell? There you go.
Yeah.
There's my last pop reference for you. All right, back to their spots over here.
All right, we're back. Head referee Tyler Hasselmore counting up, making sure that everything's working the way it should. Dan Graham doing the polishing on the ice over the break, the Zamboni, electric Zamboni. So here we go. Lining up. Third period. Hasselmore drops the puck. Schneider wins. Freer dumps it in to Canterbury territory. Puck up, and Eden clears it up. True or carries, centering. Good opportunity for Apps. Wow. Quick test of Aston Brooks's.
Yeah, very quickly, right out of the gates, clean ice. Apps and Orr team up, and Apps just doesn't quite get a clean look at the puck, or we're looking at a very quick goal for the Devils there.
Face off to the left of Aston Brooks. Win by Canterbury. Shot wide, and now Schneider off the boards to Strayer. Leaves for Schneider, rails it up, and Freer rails it up. And Sulfur collects it on the blue line. A bouncing puck over the Canterbury blue line. Hammers on the brakes to the corner. Strayer can't feed. It's railed up. Kept in by Freer. Freer losing it to Apps. Apps tap. Scores! Strayer, Schneider in the back of the net. Again, kind of like nothing in it, but I think the momentum was moving out.
There was nothing in it, but there was a big mistake by Bradley Apps there, who was a little bit lazy with a pass. We'll see that there, and it's turned over, and Schneider makes no mistake with a wrister that goes right by Reason, making it 2-1 and changing the complexion of this afternoon's match.
You know, I think the Canterbury looked like they were marching it out, which kind of got them moving in that direction. Unfortunate for them, as Lockie Freer can't tap it. Big bouncing puck, shot just wide there. Good opportunity, Christchurch, by Canterbury. And Harrison boogies it in, centering. And Freer can't get a piece of it. Low with it in the corner with Freer and Harrison. Graham. Coyle drives into the corner. Coyle still controlling in the corner. Back to McCog on the point. McCog takes a shot. Looks like it went off the helmet of Reason.
Yeah, it hit Reason's shoulder, but he never saw it. He just got plastered with it.
Just felt it. And Coyle kicking around. Freer finally gathers it up on the red line, over the blue line. Freer blocked shot. Great defense by the Devils. Fontaine trying to muscle it past Freer. And Hurley with it. Rails it around to Van Sickle. Dumps it down. And icing is the call.
You know, usually you see when a team scores early in the third, it kind of changes the momentum and the way everybody's playing. I'm not really seeing that. There's a little bit of a jump and a little bit of a concern, because you see a couple of early 2-on-1 defensive plays by the Devils to get the puck out, which is good and healthy, but there's no emergency here.
No sense of urgency, and it's cleared up. Bouncing puck, and Van Sickle can't get it past. I think that's Delamore. Pass ball. And he fires it around. Hurley rails it back around to the far side. Van Sickle gives chase along the boards, and it's kept in though by Haynes. Shot wide. Freer trying to keep it in, can't. Hurley on his own blue line hits Carson Pratt with a nice little pass, but he had his back turned, couldn't control it. Nichols with it behind his net, starts to move forward. Amston, or Sofer, controlling on the blue line and losing it. No icing is the call. Haynes forced to rail it around and gets it out. Haynes gives chase and is batted back into Stampede territory. Freer backs to Sofer. Sofer hits Schneider. Schneider loses on the red line. Starts to move forward. A great opportunity here. And that's Eden. Again, losing the puck to Eden in the high slot. Big mistake. And True chases it into the corner. I think the intensity may have just gotten a little better, don't you think?
Yeah, Amston was calling for that puck over and over again. He finally got it sent his direction, and it was a little too late when it happened.
True, over the red line, fires it in. And Canterbury collects it behind their own net. Sideshow over the red line. Past Amston. Amston and Sideshow in the corner with Reese now. And Tappan backing up on Harrison. Lowe picks up a pass off of Harrison and taps it back into Sideshow. Beautiful give from Sideshow. McCogg, Connor Harrison closing in on goaltender.
Reason got away with a stick tap there.
But again, not enough space. Lockie Freer can't control it. And Sideshow taps it into Stampede territory.
Very lucky when the goaltender goes for the poke check and misses. It usually doesn't go well. It turned out okay this time.
Freer behind his net to his brother Lockie. Misses a pass. Lockie taps it forward. And icing is the call, just.
That was a dangerous one too, because if that wasn't an icing, it was a 2-on-1 for the Stampede there coming in quickly.
That's right. He had McCogg boogieing against the puck and Hurley driving to the net. Good combination.
Yeah, if it was legal. But it turns out it was icing. So everybody stays on. And Perver having a discussion with the referee here.
So great chance to thank our sponsors here in Queenstown. Big opportunity here. Of course, SkyCity, Queenstown Health, Cook Brothers, and many more, which we'll get to shortly. Puck being dropped. Kenny Gustafson dropping the puck. Freer kicking the puck over the blue line, muscling his way as the puck just rolls behind the net and is cleared up, but not out. Kept in beautifully by McCogg. McCogg feeding Hurley. Hurley can't get a handle on it, and it rolls to the blue line. McCogg picks it up. Cross ice to McIntosh, who drags it behind the net. McIntosh rails it back to Freer on the far corner, and Reese breaking up a beautiful pass to Carson Pratt, and a beautiful attempted pass to Carson Pratt. McIntosh takes the shot off an ankle, and it rolls behind the net, tapping to McIntosh. McIntosh tries the wraparound. Sofer picks it up. Sofer being dogged by 4 or 5 of the 6 or 7. Oh, tries to muscle it in himself, and he can't get that final tap. Canterbury march it, finally throw it to the red line. Amston fires it in, and Carson Pratt gives chase. Hurley can't control it in the corner, and it's marched out. Passing up. Delamore takes a shot. Just
hit him. He hit the post there. That was
Yeah.
a glove post in and out.
Brooks thought he had it, square in the glove. It missed his glove, maybe collected a little bit of it, hit the post, and ended up off the timber. Whew.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
Giving Dallimore a free run right through the slot is a bad idea for a goaltender. And another one goes by the boards here. The Red Devils are starting to get some opportunities, which is a good thing for them as they settle in, but they need to close the door on it.
Sofer over the blue line. He's got Schneider drifting. Shot into the clutter. Puck bounces in front. Back to the point where Cole keeps it in. Shot, bouncing puck, though. Drifts across the front, but of no threat. And Strayer being dogged heavily. And Eden picks it up. Eden marching it over and firing it on was Canterbury, just wide of the net. Schneider picking up a puck bouncing around. It's like nobody wants it. Big feed pass to Eden, can't control it. And Freer skates it in behind the net. Railing it up and around. And icing is the call. That was a little bit of miscommunication, I think, there, Matt.
Yeah, I think so. It's been interesting. The ice is tilted just a little bit to the red team, but the Stampede are very dangerous breaking out. And I think it's clear that the Red Devils are focusing on making sure that they do not give up a man advantage or any 2-on-1s, 3-on-2 breaks.
Shot off an ankle. And unable to control was Canterbury and railing it up. And Harrison kicks it out to the red line. McCog with it now on the red line. McCog taps it into the corner, rubbed up against the board by Syshow. Big presence by Syshow this game.
Yeah, he's been growing all season long into that role. And now he's rewarded with a lot more ice time.
And here's a chance. Canterbury. Great move by, what was that? Was that Graham to miss a hit and also tap the puck forward. And Bull with it in his own zone. McCog just trying to tap the puck off his stick, and he kind of wins. Freer whiffs on it, passes it onto Canterbury's stick, and they lose it into the neutral zone. Here's a chance.
There's a 2-on-1.
And beautifully robbed by Fontaine, who muscles his way over the blue line, hammers on the brakes. Turning it over. Mitchell Freer skating it in. Defenseman can't center. Ends up behind the net. Fontaine picks it up in the corner again. We know how dangerous Fontaine can be. Fires it cross ice. Haynes over the red line, fires it in. Icing waved off. Van Sickle.
Yeah, Pratt gets away with an interference call there as he
hustling
ran into
himself in. Into the corner. He's got Carson Pratt with him. And Canterbury rail it around the far side. Perver with it behind the net. Firing it up. Keeping it in is Sofer, but he loses it. And Perver against the boards. Perver, Sofer, couple more. Carson Pratt and Canterbury end up with it. Over the red line, shot right on the money. Brooks forced to kick that to the side where Amston feeds Schneider. And no icing, and Schneider centering. Sofer can't pick that up, and it's kicked back to the boards. And finally out. Eden feeding Apps. Apps over the blue line. Tapped off his stick, but straight onto Nichols' stick, I believe. And Aston Brooks forced to make the save.
Yeah, unfortunately, Nichols didn't continue that because he's a defender. He's not going to do that. But had he gone straight at it, there was a juicy rebound that Brooks gave up. But a good shot by Nichols, and not making any mistakes coming out. They've been doing a really good job in the last couple of minutes playing this well.
Eden feeds the point where Brown's got it. Brown takes a shot off a body. Puck bouncing around, and Schneider picks it up on the blue line. Schneider hits Strayer. Strayer's got Sofer on the far side. Schneider takes a shot, rebound, and gathering that up quickly as Stampede players march in on him was Reason.
I think somebody's told Strayer he needs to start taking some shots because that was a good long-distance shot. He probably had another step or two. He could have walked in and had a better angle, but good on him to kind of make that adjustment there.
With Sofer marching on that far side, their opportunity for rebounds was there.
Yeah,
so
Sofer's had a great
back to
10 minutes.
McIntosh. McIntosh straight through a bunch of bodies, straight into the glove of Reason, didn't even have to move.
Yeah, Sofer's had the last 10 minutes. He's pretty much bossed this game anytime he's been near the puck. So it'll be interesting if that can turn into offense for the Stampede.
9 minutes. Boy, already 9 minutes left. For taking the shot off a stick, and it bounces over the net. Mitchell Freer forced to chase as Ball chases, contains, passes in front, and Graham couldn't get a handle on that soon enough, which, as Aston Brooks was out of position. Centering pass. You're right about the shoe being on the other foot now. Looks like Canterbury's got a little bit of pressure going as Freer controls. Tapping in his own zone now as it was cleared. Drifts into Stampede territory where Freer collects it, takes it behind the net. Stampede needing to set something up. Huge feed pass to McCog. And icing is the call. McCog couldn't collect that, Matt.
Yep. So I guess we should remind our viewers, I know the Red Devils are looking to get that second goal. And let's just say for a moment, Dave, that they do get that. Remember, there is no overtime today. It just ends 2-2 or 3-3 or whatever it is today.
Which puts a little bit of pressure on Saturday's game. Mind you, there's pressure on Saturday night's game no matter where the score sits, to be honest.
That's true.
Big tap forward. Chance for Connor Harrison as Reese fell. Beautiful play there by Boyle, I believe, who just...
The defense was Daniel Monk there, and that goes up and out.
Fontaine had a bit of a hole there. Just his radar was just a little bit off. Brooks was trying to cover a couple people at once, and he couldn't drift back to the right side in time.
Yeah, I think, like we were talking about, the coaching adjustments have made a big difference in this third period so far. Time for the Stampede to adjust, actually.
All right, Freer with it. Freer taps it up. No icing because Harrison still has it. Shot, big rebound, and kept in though. Coyle takes a shot off a skate, cross ice now. Coyle can't make the hit as Fontaine dances with it, takes a shot, blocker save, kick to the side, and Amston with it. Cross to Freer, Lockie Freer. Carson Pratt can't control it. Battle for it on the red line. And Hurley with it now. Over the blue line, shot off of Brown's leg. Hurley picks it up in the corner, being muscled around. And Coyle taps it to the far side where Apps has to give chase. Drags it into his own zone, being dogged by Van Sickle. Big lead pass. Trying to hit Eden. But he's just... And Van Sickle now giving chase as a big lead pass for him. Puck rolls behind the net, tangled up, and covered up by Reason. End-to-end hockey, Matt.
Yeah, they're definitely figuring things out here and speeding up the game, which is good for both teams. And in this case, the Stampede are still getting opportunities, but if you look at the shots, I think we've had 2 for the Red Devils, and I think it's 6 so far this period for the Stampede. If you look at the numbers straight up, the story's still the same, even though it feels like it's tilted a little bit for the red team. The team in yellow is doing just fine.
Yep, more get shots. You can't score without getting shots on the net. Over the red line, Haynes fires it in. And Schneider with it. Schneider. Shot. Wide, kept in by Freer to the corner. And Canterbury, SkyShow with it. Just losing that pass. And I think it went off some netting, so.
Yeah, that's the case. Want to shout out to Luke Tappan there, who had a fantastic outlet pass. He's had some struggles with working out of the back third so far this afternoon, but in that case, he hit SkyShow with a good long pass, and it moves the puck down the ice.
Puck dropped in the offside circle. And Rees with it in the neutral zone. Rees over the red line, fires it in. Brooks taps it behind the net. Amston to Sofer to Schneider. Schneider. And Amston ends up with it in his own in the neutral zone. Sofer, Schneider. Can't hit Strayer, who just fires it in. And Amston gives chase. True with it on his blue line. Cross ice to Amston. Amston, red line, fires it in again. Connor Harrison picking up that puck in the corner, centering dangerously. Nobody there to pick it up. Strayer was a little bit behind on that one. And McCog with it now in his own zone. McCog off the boards. Harrison. Harrison can't collect it. And Eden on the blue line. And it's marched out all the way down the ice. Pass centered. Ends up on Harrison's stick. Harrison over the blue line. No tripping called. And McCog has it in the corner. McCog bounced off the boards. Harrison with it. McCog ends up with it. Can't feed Harrison. Finally ends up on App's stick. And Canterbury march it out. Shot just wide. Eden pushed off the puck. Lockie Freer giving chase against Brown. Getting bounced around heavily.
This game is definitely getting chippy. McCarg took an extra shot at Eden.
And McIntosh got involved there too.
6 men on the ice being called here against
Canterbury.
Canterbury, yeah. There's an appeal to the referee, and they are keeping everybody over there, settle them down.
Yeah, Nichols is giving that just calm the farm.
Yep.
Let the referees do their thing. Let the captains do their chatting. Nigel, what's your call on that? Eagle Eye Dobson, referee out of Canterbury. Referee out of Thunder Country. Probably watching that very closely. He'd make the call.
There's a long conversation here, which is probably best for the Red Devils, given the fact that they're still discussing this.
Yeah. Where there's conversation, there's hope. So big thanks to Queenstown Ice Hockey Club, Upholstery Workshop, Eventifine, Impact, NASCO Factory, Concrete Brothers, AWS Legal, Queenstown Health, Cook Brothers Construction, The Film Crew, James Allen Photography, MediaWorks, Sign It. My goodness. All these all these sponsors and all the volunteers that have made this season what it is in all the different towns and cities made hockey, the NZIHL, what it is, and you're seeing it tonight, just 2-1, 4 minutes left in this third period. Spectacular hockey. Thanks for your support. As I'm traveling I'll be traveling tomorrow, so I won't be here. So, Matt, you'll have to carry this.
Can do that, yep. That's not a problem. I know you're going to be far more busy than I am, but I don't think there was a call here. I saw the arms wipe it away, so I think it's going to be a face-off neutral ice, 5-on-5.
If it was whistle dead, why is it not on center ice? Delayed. That's what it was. All right.
Yep.
So Schneider marches it in over the blue line. Centering pass. No one to collect it. Shot off a body. Nichols taps it up to the red line. Amston with it. Amston marches over the red line, over the blue line. Can't control it. 3 minutes, 55 seconds left as Amston still dancing with it. Great defense there by Canterbury. and it's fired cross ice. And Fontaine over the blue line, hammers on the brakes, rails it in. Amston rails it, just keeps it going. Lowe with it in his own zone. Lowe. Schneider intercepts Lowe. Neutral zone, hits Sofer. Sofer centering, muscle off the puck was Strayer, right on the slot. Beautiful work by the Stampede, but they couldn't complete. And Haynes harassed by, I'm not sure who that is, but great work by Fontaine, is it?
That's
and
Dallimore.
Dallimore, and Haynes clears it all the way down the ice, and Tappan chases it, carries behind his net. Van Sickle giving him a bit of a chase, forcing him to pass. Van Sickle forcing the mistakes there, and Tappan bumps it to the neutral zone, cleared up to Hurley. Hurley on the blue line, flicks it in. 2 minutes, 42 seconds left. 2-1.
That's a call coming. Tappan was knocked over by Van Sickle.
Van Sickle's going to get bad timing for a penalty. That was Van Sickle's tackle earlier in the game,
yes,
too.
It was. Yeah, he had a hook earlier, and this is going to go for a trip officially, but, you know, it doesn't matter how you knock him over. It's 2 minutes.
Yep. Stick gets in the way.
So as a reminder, that this is officially a completed game. Not that this wouldn't carry over because it's 2:37 to go in regulation, but nothing carries over. This is a completed game. It's just simply not a result. No matter what happens, the score is going to be what it is.
Will they pull a goalie? No, they shouldn't.
Absolutely not.
No, they shouldn't. All right. Frere giving chase as Canterbury march it out. Sisho over the blue line, marches it to the corner. Huge pressure from Canterbury. Shot.
Fantastic stick work by Graham there.
And firing it down is Frere. Bouncing puck, stopped by Reason. And Brown collects it behind the net. Waiting to set something up. Marches it over the blue line. He's got 4 with him. Graham over the red line, rails it in. And Amston just fires it up and out. So Fontaine cross ice to Eden. Eden, dangerous man wherever he is on the ice with it.
Halfway through this power play, too.
Nichols behind his own net. Nichols hits Fontaine. Fontaine, Eden, who's got some speed up over the red line. Eden spins around, back to the point. Shot, deflected. Bouncing puck in front. And Amston rails it back down.
Textbook defense by the Stampede there.
33 seconds left in this penalty as Nichols at his own net, waiting to break it out. And marching it up. Canterbury along the board, shot, rails it around to Apps on the close side. Apps being harassed by Frere. Apps on the blue line, shot, looking for the deflection, and fired up and out. And and
that clears the penalty there.
And Hurley giving huge chase. Reason couldn't quite get it, didn't want to put it behind the net, and ends up feeding Nichols. And it's broken up again with 26 seconds left in this game as Eden can't hit his man. And it's on the red line. Huge pressure from Tappan. Here's a chance. Hurley with it. Hurley gliding in, shot. No rebound. Puck bouncing in front. There's 6 seconds left.
Yeah, the referee lost sight of that one. It was right out in front and in the crease and playable, but I think the net also came
off its moorings.
No, it looks good.
That old chestnut.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So 6 seconds to go.
Yeah, referee lost sight of the puck. What a great ending to a hockey game.
And they're bringing out to neutral too, which does indicate to me that I think that somehow the Stampede maybe jostled the net just a little bit. Otherwise, I don't really understand why it's coming out, but it will be a neutral ice face-off to finish this game off with just 6 seconds to go. And that means the Stampede will carry a 2-1.
Wait 6 seconds.
Well, let's. Yeah, I know commentators curse, right? But the likelihood is they will carry a 1-goal advantage into tomorrow's game. And that's sent.
Shot off an ankle, and that ends it.
That does end it.
Wow, what an exciting game.
That's great. Actually, I mean, the format's different for sure. The home fans get to go home with an exciting win, which is great for them. But this is definitely not over.
No.
And I know there was a quick goal in the beginning of that third period, but for the most part, a very even game yet again, and you could definitely see either team being the next to score. We just start with period 4 tomorrow.
Yeah, what's that all about? Oh, well. On the return of Schneider, 2 goals.
Yeah, that's definitely the story of the league right now.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that.
You know, he's been on the books all year. You can read the score sheet. You can argue it, but it's not going to get you anywhere. So,
yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, so just to be clear about this, they're not shaking hands after the game here because it is still, well, it's the same game coming up tomorrow. So the important thing is you tune in tomorrow to see how this one ends.
That's right.
But Sky City up 2-1 over the Canterbury Red Devils. Dave, what do you think overall, just to close this out? What are your thoughts?
What a spectacular game. End-to-end hockey. Very jittery at first. Moved on to some smooth play. Couple mistakes. A few penalties. A few goals. Great hockey.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there because we're going to come back. Good luck in your coaching tomorrow. And we will see everybody at the same time tomorrow on YouTube. The NZIHL semifinals of the Burgle Cup. We'll see you tomorrow.